Hi everyone, welcome to this channel once again. In this video I'll be showing you how to draft an half scale bodice block like you're seeing in this picture. If you are new to the channel, please kindly subscribe. Now to start, I kept my paper on fold because I'll be altering this style, this draft to for a slash and spread design that I want to do. But the first measurement you're going to put is your shoulder measurement. I'm using 8, then the armhole divided by 2 is 17. I put it as 8.5, and then you have a straight line there. Then you're going to put your shoulder to bust. Shoulder to bust I'm using is 10.5. The shoulder to waist is 16.5, so I just made it 17. That's plus ½ inch seam allowance to join this upper bodice to the down bodice. That's if we are doing it as a gown. This is an half scale body like I said, so you are going to be needing ½ inch to join the upper bodice to the down parts. Alright, so on the armhole line, which is the chest line, I put the shoulder measurement again, and then I draw a straight line. That will be the armhole line. Now on that line I went down by 1.5 for the front, and then I added ½ inch back, and then I put the natural neckline, which is 3, to draw my shoulder slant. So you're going to divide the armhole by 2 and get the midpoint. On that midpoint you go in by 0.75, and then you draw your armhole. You make sure that your line stops at where your slant, that is the 1.5 or 1 inch, whatever you're using, stops. So right now you put your bust divide by 4, and then your waist divide by 4 to put, that's your measurement. You connect the points. So now I'm going to be putting that measurement, which is the nipple to nipple divide by 2. You mark it on your waist and your bust and draw a straight line. Now from the bust point you come down by 1 inch, and on the waist you take 0.75, which is 3/4 on both sides of that line, and then you draw out your dart, which is your waist dart. Then on the bust I came down by 1 inch and connected to the nipple point, which is the midpoint of that nipple to nipple that we have drafted. I used 3.5, and then now I'll be putting the neck measurement. I use 3.5 by 3.5. I like drawing it as a box to just guide me when I'm drawing the neckline. So 3.5 wideness and 3.5 depth. That's what I used. So I'm just going to draw the round neckline as we have seen. And here I have the front bodice. Alright. So I'm just putting the wideness or the depth for the back, which is 1.5. You can actually use this to cut your front and back, alright, if you're doing a simple design. So for the back armhole you just go in by 0.25 or ½ inch, and then you draw it out. So if you want to use this for back and front, you can just add your seam allowance back on the fabric, but for this I'm not adding seam allowance because of the work I want to use it to do. So basically I have the front and back on this piece, but I'll still be drawing out the back so that you can see. But for those that want to use this, you can just cut out your back first and add your zipper allowance and your side seam, then cut out the front neckline, then you add your seam allowance for the front if you are using it for both. Alright, so right now I'll be drafting the back bodies. This is just on one single paper, is not on fold. So I'm marking the zipper allowance, which is 1.5. I'm using 1.5 for the zipper allowance. You draw out the zipper allowance first, and then you place that front after that same zipper allowance line that you have drawn. I'm pinning it down so that it will be stable. Alright, so I'm drawing this straight line, okay, because I didn't draw out. This is just, I don't want it to be very fast. So right now I went in by 0.75 for my zipper dart. That is to prevent any bulge at the back. You just slant it, take the 0.75 on the waist and slant it to the chest line. And then I added whatsoever I took at the side back. So I have my exact waist back plus my zipper allowance, right? So to put the dart for the back, I'll measure the exact waist, and to do that, I can see that I lifted up the front a bit, and then I took that 0.75 from that zipper allowance so that I will have my exact waist measurement. So you're going to divide the waist by 2 and get the midpoint. It is at that point that you're going to put your dart line. So you can see that the position of the dart for the front and the back are not the same. Alright, so I'm just adding my dart allowance, which is 1.5, because I'll be taking 0.75 on both sides. And then you can go ahead and add your seam allowance. You can use 2 inches, you can use 1.5 for the back. So here I'm using 2 inches, so you just add the 2 inches, and then you have your seam allowance for the back. Remember, I didn't add seam allowance for the front because I'll be altering the design. But if you're doing yours, you can add your seam allowance for the front before cutting it out. So I'm cutting out the back pattern. You remember I've cut the armhole I cut for the front when I was cutting was the armhole of the back, and this is the neckline of the back. So I have my back pattern here. I'm just going to remove the front so that I'll be able to draw the darts for the back. Alright, so you can see that as I lifted up the pattern, I went in by 0.75 after the zipper dart so that I'll have my exact zipper allowance. Now I added a bust dart for the front, so which is 1 inch. So I'm going to take it out from the bar because after folding in that dart, the back and front lengths won't be the same. Remember, because of the bust on the front area, the back waist and the front waist, that's your half length, they are not the same. So I'll just take out that 1 inch for the back, okay, and make sure that the 0.75 that I've taken out on the zipper allowance, I'm measuring it again to make sure that I have exactly that 0.75. all right, so I'm drawing out my exact line, that's the first straight line, so that it will guide me when I'm putting my darts. All right, and then I'm drawing out the chest line. Okay, the reason why you need that first straight line is so that your back waist line, that's the waist that you want to draw, will be straight. So I measured what I have at that midpoint, then from the straight line you measure again. You understand? So let's say I had 4.0 from the midpoint, okay, so you take it to that first straight line that you have marked for the seam allowance. You discover that you have more, maybe you have 5, so is that 5 you're going to take on the chest line. Now that way you'll be able to have a straight line. Right now I'm putting 0.75 on both sides of the dart, and then you come down by 1 inch from the chest line to draw out your waist dart for the back. I know that several of my videos have explained this, and so you can just check some of our videos on this channel to see more illustration on this. So right now this is our waist dart for the back, and this is our complete back pattern. All right, so we've added our dart allowance and the seam allowance. So here you have your front pattern and the back pattern. So I'm just going to cut out the neckline for the front. Remember, I went down by 3.5 inches for the depth, and then you can also cut out the armhole for the front. Okay, So thank you so much for watching. If you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It will help others that need it to be able to see it. You can also drop your comment. I'm sorry I've not been able to be dropping videos back to back because of other engagements that I have, but I promise to try and be dropping more videos. So I need you to encourage me by liking this video. You can share it, and please, your comments are very helpful. This is our front and back pattern. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.